This is the Tactical Muffin Top, Tuesday night talk show, baby. How y'all doing? Let us serenade you into some noteworthy preparedness. No fear mongering over here, just critical thinking and being smart for the future. That's all I got. I just wung it. How y'all doing, everybody? Colin, right?
Your senators.
You might be one of those whack job right wing extremists over there.
Oh, I got the notification you went live.
Oh, dang.
Yep.
Lawfully was first in with Colin Wright, your senators. Sister Krista with the hay. What's up, Sister Krista? How you doing? Yeah. Let me know when you hear some more on that, Sister Krista. We'll leave it at that. You know what I know.
What do you know?
Don't worry about that. ACR Protect, good sir. You have a link if you are not busy, but I understand if you are. Guys, we're gonna talk about what a couple things. What you got there, Lawfully?
Did you email it to ACR?
I sent it to him in Discord.
Okay. It's on your Discord.
Yeah, that's how I handle stuff. I only email a couple people here and there. Anyway, you're doing plumbing, bro. That's what I do, bro. I did that the other day. That sucks, doesn't it? Crack and all, same, man. My crack goes up to my shoulder blades. What up, yesterday's pomade? How you doing, my dude? A few things have been happening in the news. Well, actually, a ton of shit's been happening in the news, but stuff that I want to talk about that's happening in the news is I want to know if you were one of these people. These driving attacks seem to be where they just plow into groups of people. Seem to be becoming a more and more mainstream-esque type deal, and I'd like to know if you were in that situation. Say, I don't know, a small town, whatever. My back looks like a chili dog. Well, thank you. Fiend Dog, what's up? If you were in a situation like that, say you were like in a small town gathering, like, you know, any sort of church or sports event or like a fair type deal or like a car show, something, festival going on in your town, like around here, like a couple weeks before harvest, we have like a Harvest of Harmony, and then like all of the bands go back to their hometowns. It's kind of like the Macy's Day Parade for like high school, things like that. And then they have like a little parade go through and a little car show afterwards and dance with funnel cakes and stuff. I don't know if you guys do that where you're at, but I typically work security at these things. And if you were so inclined to be in one of these areas, which I go to them, I take my family to them, things like that. And these car attacks, I don't know if you've seen it. I think, 3 of them happened, if I'm not mistaken. All overseas. I think, one was in France, one was, I have to look it up. I think 3 happened this weekend, which is messed up. And a couple of them happened last year, and they seem to be kind of ramping up because I think, you know, especially in the more restricted EU areas, a car is a really easy to obtain weapon opposed to anything else. It's not like your EDC can do a whole lot to a screaming freaking car either, you know. So what do you guys do for that? I guess would be
stay off the street.
Situational awareness.
Sure.
I mean,
well, help me discuss this and try and turn this into a topic and maybe have some pointers for people that are fucking retarded and don't. You know what I'm saying? Is what I'm trying to get at.
There's really not much you can do when there's an unexpected, you know, however 20,000-pound object hurling your way, but you know,
right,
some kind of a constant piece of high ground or something. You know, I know me. It'd be really difficult for me to get my 2 young children out of a bad situation, so I just avoid them.
Right. One thing I do, especially whilst working security at these events, hey Pat, what's up? Is I always have my back up to a building wall, so nothing can come in behind me, so I can get the strict 180. You know, unless I have to go through a crowd or something and handle a drunk or something like that. But I like to keep my back up against the wall, and if I'm with my family, I like to stay on a sidewalk with them. Like I'll be towards the road, kind of like the gentleman's thing for a lady. I always like to put the family on the inner, most closest part of the building whilst walking, kind of deal. But then, yeah, you know, your vigilance comes into effect. But at the same time, EDC dictates, okay, are you going to be the guy? Roughly, yeah. Muffin Top does watch his chili dog. The EDC, whatever you're carrying, is not going to handle a car, right? It don't matter if you mag dump it and you're quick enough to get another mag in. First off, you're not going to make it through court. In that, you know, I think that's going to be hard pressed to fight that in court. Next, glass does weird things. And second off, if you miss, it ricochets off the car, whatever, you know, all those rounds down range are going wherever, you're still responsible, right? So seems like a bad call. I don't know. What do you guys think about that?
I just try real hard to avoid crowds like that. I know that's not constructive, but that's what I got.
Lawfully, have you been in a crowd like that this year?
No.
Yes, you have. You went to your kid's event at school. Could happen in the parking lot just the same as anywhere else. It could happen at a Walmart, honestly, you know, any place there's people. All right, well, that was constructive. Well, you know what? Tuesday chat's over, guys. Thanks for coming, everybody. That's all
Pat,
we had
say
today.
hey-o.
Well, I mean, make it a little bit more real. Shit.
I don't know. It was
What's
just
your plan for this?
They're just what they were all at, like festivities or parades or whatever, or like one was I don't remember what the one was. I don't know. They weren't even that large of crowds. Is what I'm getting at. Like it was just like normal day. Like if it was fucking Florida or California, you know, boardwalk side. Like, oh, Pat is currently exercising he's seeing what a semi does IRL.
Pat's choosing the easier option than trying to answer this question.
I don't know. It's just an interesting thing that they have popped up quite a bit, like in the last couple days. You know, people travel for Memorial Day. You know, some lunatic wanted to go drive a bunch of people, you know, when they're visiting the cemeteries, whatever. Like, saying. I think
you guys
being
hear
vigilant. Yeah. Hi, Pat.
Oh, yeah. I'm sitting in my car. It's doing funny things.
Uh-oh. Are you doing funny things in your car?
A car or your microphone?
Easy now.
Oh.
Just me trying to get on the chat. Like it's my car keeps trying to take it. I keep trying to transfer it back to my phone. I got to get out of the car.
Just turn your Bluetooth off.
Yeah, turn your Bluetooth off.
Then I won't have my headset.
Geez, there's no pleasing you, is there, Pat?
I'm getting out of the
So
car.
I guess I don't.
So
I guess I don't know.
it might kick me off. I'm getting out of the car.
You're good.
It won't kick you out.
Dude. We still love you, Pat. I don't know. I just think that, especially with the Summer of Love and these people, some are scared of the pew-pews and some are not. Some people from Middle Eastern descent, we should say, everybody can get a hold of a car. People on food stamps have cars. I think that's going to be a reality thing, and taking a look at maybe reducing your signature as far as, hey, we're going to go to this event, but we're going to go hang out by this tree, or hey, we're going to go hang out by this building. You know what I mean? Opposed to like, hey, we're not just going to stand out with like everybody on the dance floor. You know what I mean?
There you go.
Or hey, there's this nice planter box with like a bench in front of it. Like those concrete planters that they have with like flowers and stuff in them with like a bench. Like that's a pretty good little barrier / cover. Instead of like, oh, we're just gonna plop our asses down on this curb, which I see a lot. That happens with kids and stuff. You snag a popsicle or something or a drink and you just hang out. Same thing could be said. I don't know. That just bugged me that many events happened this week, and I was trying to bounce some ideas off people, trying to come up with something different for a topic, but I guess this one sucks, so we'll just go to the next thing.
Well, I mean, it just kind of bugs me that there's not a lot that you can do about it other than try to stay away from edges, stay, near buildings, or just
Right.
don't be caught in a hopeless spot.
Yeah.
I guess
Well,
that's
it just makes me think, because like we're getting ready, gearing up for like t-ball and stuff, and going to water parks and zoos, and there's a lot of people at all that stuff. So Hey yo, Pat.
Hey,
You're a busy man tonight.
sorry.
No, you're good.
Now my audio's fucked up. Now it's super low. Oh my
Wow,
god.
we can hear you. We can hear you.
I could barely hear you guys.
Yeah.
Good enough. I'll go with it for now. What did I miss? Like
We
a
can
scenario
holler.
or something?
Yep.
But you want to go over the basic premise for me real quick?
the basic premise is a
Well,
20-pound vehicle hurling at you. What do you do?
Go upstairs.
Oh,
yeah, there's like three.
It works for sharks and semi trucks.
Is that true, Pat?
no, a semi truck will collapse your whole damn house.
Well, I'll tell you what works for sharks. They only bite if you touch. Never mind, I won't go there.
Easy now. What did I walk into?
Uh-oh.
When in the scenario, like I think that you were talking about that,
Well,
The-
yeah, there was like three.
that big group of people.
Yeah. There's like three that happened this week in various
I
parts
mean-
of the world.
It's almost like getting ambushed, getting robbed. There's not a lot you can do but react in the moment. Just do your damnedest to get the hell out of the way, get your family out of the way, and be a gangster about it. Don't let anybody stand in your way.
Yeah. Men, women, and child aside, me and mine are coming through first, huh? Fair enough.
Kinda. Maybe not children. That's a difficult scenario.
Are you
Would I
saying
save
that people are
myself
getting
over
run
a
over?
child? Say that again.
I was asking Muffin Top if he's saying people got ran over this weekend. I hadn't seen or heard anything about it.
Yeah. One was in France, one was somewhere over in the Middle East, and then there was another one somewhere else.
Oh, that's why I didn't hear about it.
Yeah, the other
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It wasn't
On
U.S., but we had a few
Well,
of
there's
those
a-
last year.
There's a lady in a car that drove through a crowd here in the States.
Yeah, it was
like
like three
some,
people or something.
Some sporting event or aftermath or something. I heard it was a bunch of people injured. I don't know if anyone was killed.
Oh, I think that was the one I was just reading. Is that the one like 9 people were injured and 2 killed?
Yeah, I haven't seen anything about it since the initial reports. And from what I remember, people were still like coming into the hospital themselves, like self-transporting. So they didn't know the total last time I paid any attention to it.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. I just seen that and I thought it kind of bugged me a little bit. And I thought it would be an interesting thing to pick people's brains on.
Yeah, I mean, you just gotta plow through everybody.
I mean, yeah, no pun intended, but
No pun
yeah,
intended.
it's a hard one, honestly. Let me see what the chat says. What up, Toy Town Inc? Bunch of chat, jeez. Oldman Butt Wrinkles avoids large crowds. Yeah. Always have a place to shield like trees. Yeah. I mean, there's like little statues or like those plant barriers are better than nothing, or yeah, like a tree. A lot of landscaping, rocks, things like that you can hang out around, opposed to just sitting somewhere a little bit more vulnerable, I think. Same goes for some concealment / cover in any other day. If you just put yourself up strategically, I think kind of check marks all those boxes. But
Yeah, you were just saying it just made me think. Maybe you said the exact same thing, but you have to pre-plan for something like that. Like if you can't avoid that situation altogether, you need to be aware that that could happen, and anywhere where the cars may have access to the crowd. You were saying something about planters, like try and stick close to something big and heavy that you could put in between you and something else if something started happening.
right. Yeah, I don't like where there's like walk paths and things like that around playgrounds and stuff. They have like some like I don't know what you call them, like long benches for people to kind of sit down, I never like set my family at those. I always go to like something that has like a pillar or something, like a small like eating place is usually close in an event like that, or like by the bathrooms or something, like a lot of the parks here have like a concrete little man and women bathroom. Well, if you put your back to that, unless it's like super hot and it stinks and you're downwind or something, but like, you know what I mean? Instead of like the easier chair to sit on, or pop your lawn chair just right in front of the freaking grass or chair, like right in the road, because like they do like a street dance thing here. Like I was just thinking, man, if I was the dude working security there to do that, what the hell would I do to stop a car? Okay, well, most security people don't carry more than like your pistol and like fucking, if you carry cuffs, depending on contract, your pepper spray and my flashlight, pretty much, right? And a pocket knife. None of that is going to handle a car.
I mean, 9mm rips right through car doors.
Yeah, well, I mean, glass is hard. Glass can deflect and do weird shit.
The side windows might deflect one round, but the first round is going to shatter it to bits, and then it's just going to go through it like tissue paper. And from what I understand, windshields, you just aim low because the angle of the windshield deflects the bullet upwards when it goes through. And that was one of the reasons I picked the defensive ammo that I did. The what is it? The Hornady Critical Duty, I think, or Critical Defense, one or the other.
Mm-hmm.
The hollow point is filled with that little plug, and from what I saw, that was more able to defeat glass barriers, or it did better in the glass test.
Interesting. Yeah, I run the same, but that's just because I support Hornady because they're like within an hour of me. So
yeah, but that picture that I put up a while back where my round had started to recede,
mm-hmm.
Evidently that's a known thing with that ammo. Some people have stopped using it for that fact.
I have multiple ammos that do that. I mean, if you cycle around out and put it back in your mag and put it back in when you clear a gun so you can dry fire practice, that'll happen. It'll get a little bit of scared turtle syndrome going on.
Yeah, don't
that's
do that.
That's exactly what happened to mine.
Right.
Well, that's why you're supposed to shoot that shoot that that carry ammo out.
Yeah, I mean, technically, I've heard from multiple sources that they recommend a bullet's only ever in the chamber one time.
Yeah, I could see that, but I dry fire practice, you know.
That's not
with
the,
my
yeah,
gun.
so do I. That's not the real world for me.
Yeah, I guess if you had two of the exact same gun, same optics, same everything, and then you could do that in a perfect world. But
Or just the cost of dry fire is you spit that top round out or that round out of the chamber and it goes in, you're burning it up at the range next time bucket.
yeah, that's true.
If you have an extended period between range sessions, then you've got most of a mag's worth of go time ammo to like actually do a couple of cold drills, like where you've not done any warm up yet. You just shoot like you're going to shoot.
Right.
I don't know if I'm making sense.
Can I show that? No, you are. I don't know if I can show that video. This is one of them lawfully. Can I show this on YouTube with people getting run over or not?
No, but I
Oh.
found the
Right. But yeah, that's just a freaking minivan. Like and that thing plowed through a ton of people, you know. But that's like the kind of like the size I'm talking about, like that amount of people, like that, you know, just parents hanging out in the back of a parking lot after kids' baseball practice looks like that, you know. Or track and field, that's going on.
like a Ford Escape or something.
Yeah, like just like that one dude or gal or whoever that was last year around Christmas that did the Dodge Charger through all the people at Christmas, right? Kind of same deal. Pat's having problems with his deal tonight. But yeah, you guys can check that out. Liverpool was one I was talking about. Thank you. There was another one that happened in London, and I want to say there was one that happened. God, I can't think. Maybe it was Germany or it was something over there. I don't remember.
It's coming up for London.
Yeah, there was another one that happened here with a
yeah,
grandma. I thought it was like 3 people.
April 10th. There was one in London.
Yeah, maybe that was it. But I think we'll probably see an increase in these, especially with the forced immigration problem.
I know there was a bus in Shreveport, Louisiana that was CNG that blew up. Did y'all see that?
No, I didn't.
Oh, I have.
Actually. That's messed up.
I mean, it like Hollywood blew up.
Jeez. So that was probably a setup. There's a guy that tested that. He found 380 go through windshields easily. Well, I guess there you go. Go for the 380, old man butt wrinkles. I will not. I will stick with the 9. What up, Bobby Bama?
I'll share that in the back chat.
Yeah, I was getting ready. I was thinking about all my carry ammo and everything, and like with the little go bag and everything. It's like, man, I should probably cycle all my mags that I carry that aren't just like chilling on like a battle belt. I should probably just cycle all my mags that go to and fro in my waistband and in my vehicles.
I admittedly just keep ball ammo in my chest rig and battle belt mags.
Well, yeah, I mean, that makes sense. At the end of the day, you don't need hollow points for that if you were going to don it anyway, right?
That's
By
kind
the
of my
time
thought
I'm done.
process.
Yeah. I mean, if you figure the way I say, I always do at least 2 or 3 mags on me and then 2 mags per car. Plus the little Kel-Tec setup, which is going to have increased mags thanks to Pat Riot's super sweet stock that he made that oh yeah, I found those at Midway. I got to buy those. I have them pulled up.
How much are they?
They're like $3 or $4 a pop.
Yeah.
They
I
didn't
found
have at the Glock store, which pissed me off.
I sent you a Amazon listing. It's Allen keys, and it's like
Yeah, I've seen that.
$6 for like 6 of them or something. Might be able to just round those off and use that,
Yeah, it's all right.
or
We'll
just go
get
for the spring. Go for the real
Yeah.
springs.
stock Glock springs. We'll be all right.
Those real Glock springs aren't expensive.
Yeah, I know they're like 310 muffins.
Not expensive, but hard-ish to find. And then if you only want one or two, and then shipping, it's kind of a pain in the
Yeah.
pain in the
I'm gonna
butt.
snag 4, 2 for me, 2 for R. He's out of town, so.
Okay, that's more. That's more better.
That's
That's
more
weird.
better.
More better. It's mirrored.
All right. Now look at this video.
I did something dumb.
Jeez, that is. I definitely can't show that.
That's mirrored, so now it looks funny. Damn it.
Sphereport. How do you say that? How do you say that?
Shreveport.
Wow. What was that thing hauling? Kidney care.
Just a city bus.
Wow. That's crazy. Go check out that on Raw's alerts.
It's
That
on
sounds like a porn
YouTube.
name. Okay. I seen another. There's a big chemical plant explosion in China. There's been like 2 chemical plants. There's one over in like Russia, Ukraine area. There's been a lot of shit blowing up over there lately. I can't even keep up with that. Weird outages. There was cell phone outages in part of the
Yep.
states for a while, and an entire country last week that I didn't hear on the news. Was that? Where was that over? Was that France? It was like shut off for like 2 days or some shit. Or is it somewhere else? I can't even remember. There's been so many things that happened in the news that I can't even remember.
Twitter went offline for a while too, didn't it? And freaked a bunch of people out.
Over the weekend.
Oh boy, I didn't know about that one. I don't use Twitter a lot.
My Twitter's still acting.
Dude, I didn't even know that.
What?
They still reduce power mag catch springs.
Why would you want that? Oh, so it's not so hard to push the button, or what?
Quicker mag changes, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't do that if you're running extendos in a horizontal
Yeah.
buttstock mag pouch, but
EU. Spain, yeah, Spain had a huge. They had a blackout, and then they had a massive like media outage.
my cell reception's been spotty today. Or my phone's 5G.
For the past month or so.
Yeah, yeah, mine's kind of been a little bit iffy about the last week. Spain, Portugal. I thought there was another country that I just seen had an issue with this as well.
Talking about where they
Some
had the
South-
power outage.
Yeah, it could be. This one I'm thinking of was just media. So I think it was like internet and cell phone connectivity was just down for like the whole country for maybe it was Portugal, I guess.
Well, Portugal is on the Ibar Peninsula with Spain, so that would make sense.
Yeah.
They're
I
blaming all.
want to say I was thinking Argentina for some reason, but that might not be right.
Yeah, I think it was some South American countries lost power too.
Yeah, they were saying all that's due to solar activity.
That's pretty interesting. Yeah, France. Robert Ham's right. France is having issues with that as well. With the, they're having. I think they're still having issues with their cell phones and things today. Even
France is just up from Spain, so that makes sense. That's
Yeah.
where all the power outages were a couple weeks ago.
right.
The blackouts.
What's up, Missouri Survival?
Did
What
you
up,
guys?
Missouri?
Or no, I did that after the chat, so you guys probably didn't hear that. Lawfully, you might have heard it. My weird theory that maybe the rich elites that we think are the bad guys know something that we don't, and maybe they're not the bad guys.
Yeah, I heard you start saying that, but I didn't let myself like absorb it. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I was mighty tired by then.
I can imagine.
I just ignored it. What was it? No, I'm just kidding.
Uh,
It does
like
sound to be your last video.
no. It was in the back chat after Honda's last
Oh, I wasn't
chat
there.
that I was on. Not last like this Sunday, but like last Tuesday or something.
Yeah, I wasn't at that one either.
I've been seeing a lot of stuff that's convinced me that I've seen evidence. I mean, I can't tell you for sure, just what people are saying, that the poles are shifting, and it's been doing it forever, and it's usually been a couple of inches a year or whatever, but it's dramatically accelerating. And they're saying every so many thousands of years, the magnetic poles on the Earth just shift. And according to some of the scientists, we're due for one. That's separate. And, I'm trying to put things together. Like, if the magnetic poles are going to shift and it's going to cause the Earth to change its axis, there was a map that Tim Pool showed, showing what the Earth might look like after this pole shift. And it puts the west coast of the United States down where Antarctica is, and Antarctica up where the equator is. So that's going to start melting all the ice. That's going to go into the ocean. And I know ice displaces just as much water as it holds. So whatever ice is below the water level isn't going to make the sea level rise. But there's a shit ton of ice above the water right now that will make the sea levels rise a bit. And on Tim Pool, there was a map that showed what the United States might look like once that water had risen. And, the mountains are okay. And a lot of the Midwest is underwater, in trouble. And he was speculating that during that time, that's where we get a lot of our oil supply from. So our oil supply is going to be compromised. So what might we need if oil is hard to come by? Wind and solar. And that's what the government's been pushing forever. And all these elites that we think are evil have been pushing wind and solar this whole time, even though it makes zero fiscal sense. Like it's not carbon neutral. It doesn't save carbon. It's worse. Just like electric cars, they're worse for the environment than a modern fuel efficient gas engine. But what if they've known this thing has been coming for a while, and that's one of the reasons why they're pushing this wind and solar, and why the government has been subsidizing it for so long. And one of the other things, if this were to happen, one of the best places to be would be in a deep underground bunker. Well, what has our government been doing? They spent $27 trillion over the past, 20 years or something like that, building underground bunkers. Not for everyone, not everyone's
Definitely
going to
not
get
for
it.
you and me.
Yeah, not everyone's going to warrant an invitation to the underground bunker to try and survive the apocalypse. Only the elites, their family, and then they'll probably get some plebes that know how to fix stuff and build stuff, and engineers, But that, and one of the other things I was thinking about is how, Bill Gates, we think he's the bad guy. He wants to reduce the Earth's population. Well, what happens if the sea levels rise and there's only 40% land above sea level left? So you're going to have 7 billion people all fighting for 40% of the remaining land. So that might be one of the reasons they're trying to. They're not.
How much?
I don't. I don't know.
wonder
I don't.
how much of that
Go-
land on that map that Tim Pool had is already owned by him.
Probably.
You
Well, a
know what?
lot of it's a lot of it's mountain. Like the Midwest farmland is all underwater, according to that map. But
Well, I think the pole shifts are real though, and as
Yeah,
far
I think they're a natural cycle.
and I think the map might be a little bit exaggerated, but as far as, the subsidies and everything like that, maybe it could all be for them to further test battery technology and stuff like that. But, if we ended up with a whole bunch of our oil fields underwater, it's not impossible for us to still go get it. We know
yeah,
how
not impossible, but very difficult, especially when the whole world is in disarray.
yeah, that's true. But I mean,
Um,
pole shifts won't happen overnight.
it happens gradually and then suddenly, is what I've heard from these speculators anyway. Like it's going to be gradual, gradual, gradual. Like I said, years ago it was only moving like an inch a year, and now it's like kilometers a year, is what they're saying. So, Bill Gates is trying to reduce the Earth's population, maybe because there's not going to be enough land for everyone. And also, one of the more recent things is he wants to put like gold flakes in the atmosphere to try and block out part of the sun. Well,
Yeah,
it seems like a
Europe's
bad
doing the
idea.
same.
It seems like a bad idea right now at the moment. But what if the poles are shifting, our magnetosphere is weakening, and mid shift, or on either side of the shift, one before it starts and before it ends, what if we have basically no protection from the sun during that time, and the only thing that would save whatever's left of Earth would be, I don't know, gold flakes floating in the air, reflecting some of the sun's radiation?
That is the big thing that they were saying, that the solar activity is going to become is worsening with the pole shifting because it's exacerbated by the pole shifting.
Yeah,
The-
but that doesn't make sense as far as like with the electrical deal. Like gold's not the best conductor of anything, and I can think of a lot of other materials that
What?
could stay up probably longer than gold.
Well, I can
Well,
imagine healthier
you
than
don't.
metal.
But gold is not toxic either.
Yeah, not like all the rest of this crap they're putting
Well,
out.
silver is a better conductor and it's cheaper than gold, and
Oh,
you can make colloidal silver would actually be naturally better for the environment to put up in instead of gold.
you don't need gold for any conductivity. You need gold for the reflectivity. You don't even really need gold, maybe just mirrors or something, powdered mirror. I don't know.
Yeah.
You need to
Glass.
reflect. You don't need like electrical conductivity. You need reflection.
Right. So what are they going to do with it though? I mean, I haven't heard this Tim Pool. I honestly don't think I've actually listened to Tim Pool. But it seems like an interesting article. If I was going to put something up in the sky, I'd want it to either be able to survive in that level of atmosphere naturally, which means it's going to bounce around and move, like say a water molecule. It's reflective, so you could increase the water molecules, or you need to have something that you could put up some sort of electromagnetic or frequency field to keep it quote unquote levitated in that certain area so it stays in a blanket. So you keep reapplying, and you add to it opposed to it just drops. Say it might take a week to drop, but it still drops. So that doesn't make any sense for me to just keep putting out material that only has a week's lifespan, I guess, in my opinion.
I think it all depends on how high you put it, because there is a decaying orbit. You could put it at a certain height, and the higher you put it, the longer it would stay in orbit. The more times it would actually orbit the Earth before it actually fell down. So they could time it. You know what I mean? Like if they knew how long that weakened magnetosphere was going to last, they could probably time how long the stuff needed to be up there to reflect that radiation. This is all just speculation. Like
Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
seeing
it's
I'm seeing
interesting.
100 different news articles and 100 different opinions, and I'm just forming my own idea. and some things seem to sort of fit together if you think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what,
It's an
what are all the rich
interesting-
people? What are all the rich people doing? Buying bunkers. And one other small caveat is back in the 70s, I want to say. I don't think that may not be right, but there was a book written. It was supposedly a science fiction book about the magnetic poles shifting. And it was, it was just a book
Crucible.
about that. And for some reason, the CIA classified that book. And everyone was like, why in the fuck would they do that? And then eventually they unclassified the book except for like one page or something. And everyone's like, oh, that was a bunch of nothing. It's just a science fiction book about the pole shifting. And the CIA was like, yeah, that's all it is. Science fiction.
Now I see no surprise in that one.
That is interesting, though. Kind of like the government pulled, well, they do a lot of stuff, but like they pulled Jericho off the air for a few years before they finally let it go back on TV shows because it was getting a little too close, I think, to probably a domestic tea event that was not sponsored by them or any other three-letter agencies that are funded by all of us. So,
Was anybody else watching that TV show? Damn it, I can't think of the name of it. And I can't look it up on my phone either, or I'll get kicked out. It was a television show
At the
about
internet.
a rich billionaire who was making a sickness that would infect children, and the parents then would beg for this vaccine that he had also created. And the virus was just a bad cold virus, but the vaccine made the children infertile. So he was trying to reduce the population of the planet by giving people a vaccine that made them sterile. And by giving it to children, we had years and years and years before we would even figure out it had happened. And
that
they
seems-
pulled
Is this
that.
a movie?
Seems to be
This was
lining
right.
up.
This was a TV show, and it was right as COVID was starting, and they pulled that shit off the air quick. And you can't, you couldn't even find it on like on YouTube and stuff anymore. They pulled that shit
National
down.
Geographic.
No, it was just a regular like entertainment TV show. Something that streamed once a week.
Keeping me from getting my joke in there.
Oh, man.
I
That's
googled
exactly-
it. I
joke in
couldn't
there?
find
That's
it either.
exactly what Mr. Gates did in Africa. Sterilized
Yeah.
all the African women, young girls.
That's why they won't. That's why they won't use the birth control, because they think it's going to make them.
Infertile.
Well, they think it has
DED?
they think it has the AIDS in it.
Well, I've been seeing a lot of things with frequency stuff. I don't know if you guys have dived down that rabbit hole yet, but the frequency and weather manipulation. And
Yes.
I've
HAARP.
seen other videos of why they're putting these towers around schools and things like that for the next COVID is going to quote unquote affect children more. And so if you are going to go down that rabbit hole, you should start looking at metal detox for your family, because it's going to, there's a dude who was in the CIA and he said some event's going to happen, and you know what happens when you put a fork or something in a microwave? Now just imagine if there's metal inside your body, and how would you get metal in your body? And you look into reciprocating nanorites and things like that are in the jibby jab that, make themselves. And you start looking at metal detox and stuff, and maybe that's just a good thing. I'm not a doctor or anything, but maybe you should look at that. Also, I have another theory. I think nicotine actually helps fight the jibby jab, which is why they're trying to increase the price of cigarettes and things like that so much. I don't think actual nicotine is bad for you. I think it's the chemicals that they put in, like the cigarettes and the chew, to make it addictive.
That's been proven for a long time that it's all the additives that are bad. In actuality, like the Zen and stuff like that, the stuff that's not even really, nicotine is actually, a good little stimulant. It can,
Supplements.
it's got a lot of good benefits for males. It really does.
The dose makes the poison.
Yeah, I can see that. So something I'm doing nicotine patches, like the lowest amount. And then you start looking at ivermectin not being a thing and not being able to get a hold of that. So you have to start looking at some alternate sources for that. And they want to that stuff's going to go away. Anything you can do to self-medicate, they're going to either price you out of it or they're going to take such large quantities off the market that you're not going to be able to get a regular dosage of things. Just
Your
like,
aquarium amoxicillin.
yes, yeah, all
You
your
can
fish
always-
meds, now you have to have a prescription. So
You can always get like low dose lozenges and shit that have like a little bit of nicotine and low dose patches for free from most places that do healthcare, because they all want you to quit, right? You can get most of that shit for free, or it's covered under your insurance. Just saying.
just interesting rabbit holes we're going down here tonight. But yeah, yeah, anything you
Pat,
can
are
do.
you going to slap him on your butt?
Is this the
It's
show
called
you're talking about?
Utopia.
Make Pat
It's
big
called
screen.
Utopia. It's not going to make sense. This is just it's just
Preview.
a trailer for the season 1. It's called Utopia, and I just now remembered, like, part of the hook of the show is they were putting out these comic books that was cryptically telling people what was going on, and
the
like
rabbits.
the main character of the show, her dad was being forced to make this or something, and he was somehow manipulating the comic books to lead her to save him. Whatever. It was a decent show if you like sci-fi and crazy stuff. But what was funny is it was so on the freaking nose, because it's going on in 2020, right in the middle of COVID, and they ripped that shit right off the show, right off the air. I don't know if you can find full episodes anywhere, but it was a great show. Not for kids.
Not
I don't
for
know
kids.
that I don't know that there was like explicit, but there was some gore, like blood and guts. And the chick kills people.
So I think this is I think at long term that goes into your community building and your multi-generational thing, right? You carry down those values to your kids and your grandkids, that way they can continue on, because that's the best you can do when you get to a certain age, right? Is try to instill those values to grow people, I guess. Like, at the end of the day, like, they want to reduce population. It's probably going to have some stuff to figure out to keep population up, and a healthy population at that. And then you need to have a community. So I'm not saying like be a cult and run around and have one guy bang everybody's wives, but you know what I mean.
Well, if it comes down to it, I guess I'll suck it up.
You sacrifice.
I'll volunteer myself.
Volunteer yourself in the bunker with 50 bright-eyed, bushy-tailed ladies and repopulate the earth. Thank you, Justin B.
It'd
was
be
a
rough,
self-sacrifice.
You got to think about all the shit I'd have to deal with.
Yeah.
By Snoo Snoo.
Everyone lurking and getting kids in bed. You're good, Teresa B. Tin Man, what's up? I'm pretty sure I caught you, but just in case. Ledley says there's a UK version of Utopia that was better and got a second season. Interesting.
Yeah, I'm seeing it's
it called?
2013, 2014.
And those might be things like, as soon as I could find it, I purchased Jericho, and I have loaned it out to a bunch of people so they could see it. I'm pretty sure my copies have walked off. All I have left is season 2. So I'm pretty sure whoever I had loaned it to somebody to try and get them into prepping, which 1 second after is like the prepper's wet dream of getting people into, or like the Day of Wrath or the Cyber Nuke series, or like Jericho, or if they got into Walking Dead, like early Walking Dead or something like that. Like that's a really good way to get people like normies switched on to some sort of prepping, and then you can kind of go from there. So I'm pretty excited for that 1 second after movie. I'll probably be purchasing that. But
I got
like-
my wife's sister to listen to the first audio series that you did.
yeah,
Which one was that? But yeah, it affected her in a positive way.
good.
She was like, "Oh shit!" Well, that kind of, and like she's smart, you know. She just needed the brain to be turned in a little bit more of that direction, and yeah, she's down the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Falling.
See, I don't think people are dumb. I just think that people don't think in the direction that preppers think. You know what I mean? Something in our life has turned us on to prepping and turned us to the point where we're on the internet talking about it weekly. You know, it's a lifestyle for most of us here. And like we call them normies or zombies or whatever you want, whatever your nomenclature for the non-switched ons are. But when you can get them into being switched on, and it usually for a lot of people, for me, it's like either economic or it's like a natural disaster deal. So it's like a really big storm, tornado, big thunderstorm comes through, or like a big snowstorm, ice storm is usually when people start asking me questions about prepping. But right now I've been getting more questions when I'm out in the garden and they're like, "Hey, are you building a chicken coop?" And I've noticed more people in this town that I'm in. I'm seeing more backyard chicken coops. I'm seeing more backyard self-sufficiency. I'm seeing more people that I've never seen have a garden in their entire life have a garden for the first time this year. And why? It's economic.
Why?
So
Yeah,
when I'm walking around town, I've been testing radios, different radios. I need to get Chirp downloaded so I can get the other radio I got from Jay going, because I want to test the distance in town with those. But people have been walking by, and I don't have like an earbud. I should probably fucking buy earbuds for those. That'd be a good idea. Like a little push to talk, like Secret Service cool guy mic button, you know, so that way everybody can't hear it. But we're talking on little CB radios and stuff, just like Cobras.
don't buy any of those little like 3-letter agency things for the Baofeng. I got a PO box drop going out to you. I'll slip some in there. You'll have them in a week.
No shit. All right.
I got a metric ton of them. They come with every single set. That's why.
Yeah, there you go.
I got
Looks
a bunch.
like a baby scar. What?
But as far as prepping being a way of life, yeah, I mean, like my sister-in-law, I mean, she's even like she's out in that garden every single day now. You know, my wife's always showing me the stuff that she puts on Instagram and stuff. You know, she's out there every day since I got them all set up. So
Great, dude.
you know,
Yeah, you were putting in some work over there in Hawaii where you were chilling, right?
Oh yeah, like
They got prepped up in a hurry.
yeah. I mean, I'm there. I might as well do something. Not I'm gonna come back here and be lazy as shit and not want to work.
That happens. So I guess maybe if you were, and that maybe that's a good, topic discussion. If, what's your first 1-2 punch to get, somebody comes up to you when you're working in your garden or after a natural disaster, like how do you try to get people switched on to having stuff put away next time? Like even if it's just as simple as having a couple gas containers and a couple extra cases of water and some soup and vegetables on the shelf and like a 20-pound bag of rice. That's more than what they had the first time. You know what I mean?
It's amazing to me that people can see natural disasters happen every single fucking year and then be caught so off guard.
Right. I think people in hurricane area and like earthquake area, because they get more of them. Like we haven't had a huge tornado come through my area since like, I don't know, forever. But I remember going to like tornado shelters and stuff when I was a kid, and like yeah, we go to the basement now and things like that. But like I don't remember having a tornado that close. What I do remember is the weeks and weeks of cutting down trees and you know, so people can get through, and taking chainsaws and cutting up trees that fell across the road because the road surfaces just can't get to you, you know. And you know, between that and farmers with bucket loaders and tractors, like getting the roads cleared up, we do that every fucking year, you know. And people still don't have shit figured out.
Maybe that's part of why it was always kind of naturally instilled in me, is because I've always grown up in places where natural disasters are kind of imminent, like, you know, a tsunami or hurricanes.
Yeah. You were switched on. You're in the area to be switched on. They're showing us pictures of boobs. I'm just kidding. That's what you run? Oh yeah, there you go.
It's
The
got
T Grid Outdoors split.
Yeah. That's what I have. It goes off of the Baofeng to the push to talk, and then this you can run to whatever you want.
3.5 millimeter.
Yeah, it goes into your Do you use Electronic Ear Pro? The what
Yeah.
are those things? The cheap ones that everyone has.
Walkers.
Walkers. Yeah. Like they have a jack right in the bottom. You can just plug them right in.
Walkers for the Hauer Light Sports, or
Yeah.
or even some
Um,
of the.
I know there's
Peltors.
nicer stuff than walkers, but for the money, I think they do a good job.
I agree.
I mean, if you want to get something that's better than walkers, it's going to cost you $300-400 for a set of 3M Peltors.
Yeah, I'm not.
If you can
doing
find them used.
I like the
rather have-
Peltors.
And then you have to, then in order to adapt those to your comms, like to put those onto a Baofeng is a pain in the ass.
Right. I'd rather have 20 people have a set of walkers than, you know, a bunch of kids running around without ear pro and like
They
two or
get the-
three people with earplugs just screaming at each other, you know?
They get the
Peltor
job
makes
done.
consumer grade stuff.
Yeah, I have some Peltor earbuds that are electronic hearing protection.
Mm-hmm.
They were only I want to say they were like in the neighborhood of like $160. They work pretty good.
Yes, I agree, Tin Man, because most people are complacent when someone else to do all the work for them. 100%. And, you know, I think that's by cultural design, unfortunately.
We've had it so easy in the country for so long. Like, I don't know if I've ever told the story before, but my wife's grandmother, she would send her husband to the store every single day, sometimes multiple times a day. Like she wants a candy bar. We ran out of soda, you know, stuff like that. And a lot of people are like that. Like they've only got in the fridge what's for dinner the next day or that night, because it's always there. It's always been there, and they think it always will be there. But you know,
Till it's
people like
not.
us, we notice. Like it's a trope. It's a joke. The day before it snows, what goes away? Milk, bread, and eggs. Like, what the hell are you doing with milk, bread, and eggs during a snowstorm? But
Yeah,
everybody goes and buys the shit out of it. The milk that's going to go bad because your refrigerator loses power.
Every time. What you got there, Lawfully?
Peltors.
Fucking loaded.
No, they're not crazy expensive ones. And they've got the 3.5 millimeter pin jack, which the lighting's not doing well for. And then a year or so ago, I can't talk, bought the upgraded gel cups. They're all squishy and they're light, right?
704's got really good gel
Double layer.
shirts for dirt
Yeah.
cheap.
So what's a setup like that run you?
Is that sweaty?
No, it's just slick.
Same difference.
I don't-
Why are you
I don't
running your
mean-
finger around the
It's
hole?
like Muffin Top's chili ring.
I don't
Hey, it's
mean
not that
I don't
big.
mean currently. I mean like when you're wearing them for an extended period, do they get like real sweaty?
I mean, not too bad.
No more than the normal, probably.
And it's got the upgraded like foam.
I got
the,
my
like,
walkers right here. Yeah, mine they got like a double thing. It's not as divided as yours.
upgraded foam.
Yeah, this is not the upgraded. It's like leather, that fake plastic leather stuff on them. I think I picked these up for like 30 something, $40 at
I forget what
Sam's.
model these are. These aren't the TAC 6S's. I had those before. These are the Peltor Range Guards. That's what they're called. They're like 32 NRR.
Oh,
Noise
yeah?
reduction.
Well, how many muffins are they?
60-ish,
Okay. Oh, really? That's not bad.
The
60, 70-ish back
Okay.
4 or
that's
5
bad.
years ago, pre-COVID. And then the upgraded ear cups, which I needed replacements anyways because I blew the foam out on the original ones. I think that was like 17, 18 muffins off of Amazon.
Yeah. I tell you what, I use these when my son wants to hop on the riding lawnmower with me. I give him these. That way he can hear me and still protect his hearing, you know? And then I
need
wear
that.
earbuds because fuck my
Need that
you know?
Tigert split so I can be cool like Pat.
Yeah. That is cool.
it's
But that's just walking because I'm trying to get my 80 miles in before the end of the month, and I got 10 miles to cover in the next few days, and I'm on the internet talking to you fools tonight.
Pat, how have you raised your kids to be your little battle buddies?
Yes.
by accident. Like they just got into the hobbies that I was into, which is, guns and not necessarily food because I buy all their food.
You're a good dad, Pat.
They like
Even my
eating.
yeah, even my son that doesn't even live here anymore, he comes and goes grocery shopping in my big chest freezer. Not that I
Rubber
don't
hand.
tell him, not that I don't tell him to. I mean, they're young, they're just getting started, so it's rough for them. So, and we've been
TP
prep
shortage. Yep.
we've
Sorry.
been prepping for so long that they're actually helping us out by helping us rotate out some of that frozen stuff.
That's good. But now they've grown up in that household of never just dude, I know people that literally go and buy their groceries every night after work, and that's all they have in the house. They might have like a box of freaking microwave popcorn and a couple bags of like chips and like a bowl of cereal if they want to have like a lazy day, so they have snacks or whatever. But like it's pretty much like, or a case of beer or a bottle or whatever. Other than that, they don't have fucking food. Like they do not have 12 cans of anything in their house. And I'm over here like, they're like, oh, what are you buying? Like they go to the store with me. They're like, why are you buying an entire flat of this? And they're like, why are you buying 8 flats of this? And I'm like, this is how I shop. I shop once a month. I go to these stores, boom, boom, boom. This is my regular stuff, and this goes into rotation. They're like, you're not going to eat 6 cases of green beans or 6 flats of green beans this month. I'm like, I'm going to eat 8. But they only had 6. So that means I have to go again and get more.
Hey, I've lived off Bud Light and Skittles for a day and a half before.
Yeah, a day. Okay, well, good for you.
There's only so many ways to combine those two, but
Yeah. I mean, you get pleasantly drunk, you don't really care that all you have is Skittles, you know.
go push cars in the snow.
What I tell people is, my little shtick that I used to say all the time: prep what you eat and eat what you prep. Because what's
No,
the
you
worst
finally
case
got more than
scenario? What's the worst case scenario if you go out and you spend a shit ton of money on food that you already eat anyways? Worst case scenario, shit doesn't. Well, best case scenario, shit doesn't hit the fan, and you've already got the food that you've already been eating. And guess what? Food's not going down in price, so you save yourself money by just buying it right now while it's cheap. Buying things in season when they're cheap and putting them up the best way you know how.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario, shit hits the fan and they're like, oh my God, I've got food and no one else does. I need to figure out how to lose weight during the apocalypse so nobody knows that I have food.
Right. That's a
Like
good
that's your
problem to
biggest
have.
problem. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good problem to have, but it's a
The
problem
best
nonetheless.
problem to have.
And the litter box is cheaper than a chest freezer. So that's why Pat has lots of cats.
Oh my god.
I mean, I swapped out quite a few loaves of bread from the freezer today, and I noticed the size difference. The freaking bread loaves are smaller.
Yep. Everything's getting smaller. Everything's
No,
getting.
like by
I do that trick.
liver.
Yeah. The shrinkflation. I noticed that on cans. They used to have like 12 point whatever ounces. Now they're like 10 ounces, and they're like, and then they put on the can. Now that it's smaller, they're like 20% more, better value. And it's like it's actually 20% less, same price. So
Yeah, it's
that,
I noticed that today switching out. I was like, really, bread? Like, and
what you got there, Pat?
Chicken on a stick.
Is that a goon beam?
No,
I need
it's
to get
this.
me a goon beam.
My wife was getting a lot of free stuff from Temu for a while there. Like she was getting free stuff all the time, and she got this flashlight, and I was like, I was unimpressed with it. I didn't even want to look at it. Like it's a cheap, shitty. It's got a little solar panel on it, so you could sit it out in the sun. And I haven't charged it since we got it, which has been like a year ago. And I don't know if you can see this, but it survived a dog attack.
They smell the
And
Chinese on that one.
I'll be
That's right.
motherfucker if it's still charged. It has lights on the side and lights on the end. Yellow light, light in the center, white light, the lights on the edge, all LED stuff. And you can use a USB, like it'll charge stuff too. And this was a free thing that I couldn't give a shit about, but now I'm super impressed. Like it survived a dog attack. It's been charged since we got it over a year ago. Like when the power went out, like I grabbed this flashlight because it was the only thing around.
Hey man, how many
And it
people
was
don't
like,
even have like one of those small battery powered lanterns? You know what I mean? Or like they're like, oh, that's like one of my biggest gripes is I'm like, why don't you have a flashlight? And you know what? The first thing they do is they ask to borrow my fucking flashlight. Yeah, you got one of them battery banks? Those are a good deal.
and
Yeah, except for they start to
we
suck.
got these
They
stupid cheap
suck.
too.
Why?
A set of Baofeng. These are like
Fufang.
8888s or something. I don't know what the numbers are, but you know, they're illegal. They're on the citizen, you know, whatever, and they have a removable thing. So technically, you're not supposed to have them. But the
What?
FCC must not care because they let them come into the country. And these things are ridiculous too. I haven't charged these in probably 6 months, and they're still Heyo. Heyo.
So the CB radios aren't allowed to have a removable antenna?
The Citizen, not CB, the Citizen, like the channel 1, 2, the blister pack radios that you buy at Walmart, they're not allowed to have removable antennas. But
Why?
it's one of their stupid rules. Because they don't want they want the power limited on those handsets. And by, you know, if you get a longer antenna, like it can go further or something.
Put you that Nagoya whip antenna on there.
Yeah. Those the extended
And
ones I bought from Jay. I like that.
Go harass them at Walmart from across the
and
road.
guess what you can do with these dumb little cheapy radios?
Hand them out.
You can hand them out, and you can program your own shit into them
I need to download
using Chirp
I need to
Chirp.
I'm downloading Chirp right now.
and a programming cable.
Chirp. That is not what I want. Radio software. There you go. I need to download that. Top one, Chirp, home.
I don't know. It's been forever since I downloaded it.
Well, I got Lawfully in here. He's a ham nerd.
Oh, I wouldn't say I'm a ham nerd.
More than I am. Home dash chirp. Chirpmyradio.com.
Chirpmyradio.com.
Yeah. Does that sound right?
Mm-hmm. Just be really careful that you click on the actual download and not an adware, because that's where I got that adware and had to like rewipe my factory laptop.
All right. Well, 3 things popped up and said download, so I'm going to assume I'm going to get something really gross.
So a little off topic, I did something really stupid.
Again?
Yeah.
Bought
I went
something.
and bought a new car.
What?
Went and bought a new to me car.
Which one of these do I
2021.
click to download?
I don't know. Screen share.
There's a lot of them. What'd you get, Pat?
Let Cole
2021
flip
Jeep Wrangler.
Nice.
Pat.
And somebody did like $10,000 worth of upgrades on it, and I got it for less than Blue Book.
Did you want
Of
it
a
or
stock.
just need it?
Stock Jeep. I mean, I could come up with 100 different reasons why it was a good idea, but it probably wasn't.
Colefoot, tell them where to click.
I definitely needed a nice, reliable vehicle, and this probably wasn't it.
Here we go. Do I click the little penguin? I definitely don't click the advertisement one over here.
Yeah, don't click the ad.
I definitely don't click this one right here.
No. And that's not that same way, but the ad at the bottom is what got me last time.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to click
It's
that.
an ad too. Don't click that. That's where I
Yeah,
clicked.
see,
And it was a big
all
lime
these
green
look
bar.
like ads.
They are, and it'll screw you. Yeah, back up at the top.
This little one says "Get it." See, that
Yeah.
doesn't seem very official
Or
either. Or how
how to
about
get
this?
started.
Download Chirp to your platform.
Yeah, that one.
That one right there.
Uh-huh.
All right. I just downloaded some super gay porn. Thanks a lot, Lawfully.
I think it might actually be on GitHub. Is that the website you're on?
I just typed in Chirp.
Download the latest Chirp build here. That's what I'm clicking right now. That's what I need to do.
All right. Battlefield Tech. Which one? Windows installer recommended. This one. 2025 516. Sound about right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my computer just crashed. We downloaded the wrong one. Just kidding.
I only knew you were kidding because I could still hear you.
Nice.
It
We'll go with
reminds me of somebody told me about a website you can go watch free movies and stuff on, and you can 100% watch free movies if you click the exact right place that says play. Every other thing that says play is porn.
Oh, right.
Yes. And imagine trying to explain that to your wife when you're laying in the back of your semi truck, you know, you've got some downtime, you just want to watch a movie or something, and every freaking thing, and it's it keeps opening new tabs.
Starts moaning.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
everything you click opens a new tab, and it's all porn. It's almost like that TikTok thing that was going around. Like you're just flipping through. I don't have TikTok, but Reels or something. You're flipping through the different funny videos, and it's, you know, cats and people falling, and then somebody makes that the very famous porn website noise, like the boom, da boom, boom, whatever noise that every single video on that website makes before you watch it. Well, somebody created a joke, like when you're flipping through, it plays that music.
Pat, I almost wish you could have the camera rolling so we could hear some of your wife's reactions to what happens to your every day-to-day life.
Muffin Top Coldfoot said if you'll wait, he'll do it for you. He's
I
driving.
already downloaded it. It's okay.
Do you have the cable?
That's a great question. I don't know. I have
It's a
whatever all came with Jay's stuff.
It's a specific programming cable. You probably didn't get that.
Yeah, shit. Well,
It's a
I guess I have to
USB.
hop on Amazon for that.
It's a USB on one side, and then the other side is the what is it, the Pioneer or the Kenwood connector.
Yeah, they're
It
like
looks like
bucks
it
on
looks
that.
like that.
I don't think I have one of them.
Both of mine came with one,
I'll have to look through my stuff.
or I should say, both
The new
orders.
ones
of
don't
mine.
come with them. Only if you buy the big pack, it comes with one.
Well, I bought a big pack when I bought my first one. I bought the radio and like all the accessories, and half of them are junk. And
I don't know. I got the stuff that I ordered from Jay, and then Justin B sent him the radio, and then he sent me another radio. I got to get that figured out.
And it has a flashlight.
That's so you can give yourself what you need to be doing right now, Pat, is 3D printing those little protectors. That way you can't hit that push to talk, and then that little dial on top, and then cover up that light, so you can protect all your fellow prepper homies using Palfangs, because we're not loaded. We can't have a giant support network of comms. Jay
Yeah.
had a guy send him one. He wasn't real thrilled with it. He wanted it to be more robust.
I'll have
you know
to
what
see
I'm
what's
talking
on
about,
the. Yeah, I'll have to see what's on the website. I know exactly what you're talking about.
They should
I was
have.
thinking about figuring out a way to like make my own. One of my ideas was to make a sleeve for the Baofeng to fit into, that would make it take up the space of a. I think I've already told you guys this. Take up the space of a mag pouch, so the thing fits in there snug and doesn't like move around. And then it would have all those features like protecting the PTT and the power button and stuff.
right?
I think it's now that we're talking about
Okay, spell
Baofangs
that
and
link
stuff.
exactly, Rip Curl says.
It might be a good idea to have like a long range and a short range radio set up. For like emergencies, you want the thing to reach out as far as possible. But if you were ever so inclined to go do some hood rat shit, I don't necessarily want your radios to go like far and wide. You only want to be able to reach your pals that are, within a few hundred yards of you. Hopefully.
Yeah, but then people that want to hear what's going on far away can still hear you.
Not
yeah,
if
if you have your QRF on standby and they're 10 mics out.
well,
calm down,
I guess
13 hours.
you could have a completely separate radio just for calling them in, but for just back and forth between you and your buddies.
Well, it's easy
You
if you
know-
don't want to transmit real far. You just take the antenna completely off. No antenna.
Yeah, I guess you could. I don't know how far it
Don't
goes.
do that. Don't do that.
Oh,
You'll
no.
cook your radio.
Oh, I was about to say, if you have a CB with no antenna on it, you get 0. Like you can't even talk to the person next to you.
It's like opening Pandora's box. If you take the antenna off and turn the radio on, you will cook it.
No, you don't.
Yes, you do.
Look, I'll do it right now.
Fine, it's your radio.
It's fine. I just did it. It works just fine.
Now
There
it's
you
on
go.
fire.
It's fine until something comes across
Is
the,
it-
the freak you're on.
Well, yeah, there's
Is it on fire yet?
nothing on the frequency that I'm on here. Yeah.
Power on. 1,
Hey yo. Uh-oh.
What happened, Pat?
I don't know if the battery is dead or what.
Power on. 1.
No, battery's not dead. Battery's not dead.
Somebody in the chat that
Hey
knows more about
yo.
radios,
Hey yo. That
explain to
works.
them the harm they're doing.
Hey yo. Hey yo. That's working. I don't know. It did do something funny.
All right. We're not here to give bad advice. We're here to give good advice, gentlemen.
Well, we're scientifically testing.
Well, it might be good advice not to let anything cross the radio without getting antenna on it. Might be. Shit.
You silly cats. What else are we talking about? I didn't get that lined up. That was bugging me all day, the other thing, but it is kind of a hard topic.
There's certain situations where there's just no good options.
Yeah. That is unfortunately true.
And you're forced to choose least worse.
Choose the more gooder.
Yeah.
That is unfortunate. Sometimes those things really bug me. What's the next thing, guys? What's the next topic for the evening?
I can tell you about my miniature shit hit the fan. This last trip out to Arizona,
Let's hear it.
the tire shredded on the trailer, one of the trailers we were pulling, and when my wife stopped to take her break, I didn't wake up and use the bathroom, and she had about 2 hours left on her shift, and that's when the tire blew up, and we were on the side of the road. And, luckily I had male privilege, so I went out and used the bathroom beside the truck. But my wife would not go outside. And we have ways that she could use the bathroom in the truck. And she refused to do that. And we sat there. They forgot about us. It was supposed to take an hour for them to get there. We sat there for 7 hours.
What?
Waiting for them to come fix this tire. And the place, guess what? The place that was coming to fix it was 2.7 miles up the road.
Did you tell them they were gay?
It took them 7 hours to come rescue or to come change this tire. So my wife sat there. I think we figured it up. It was somewhere in excess of 10 hours, and she hadn't gone to the bathroom. But that kind of brought me to the realization, since we've been running this new truck, I'm not set up anywhere near like I was in my old truck. We have nothing. I don't have any water.
You need that luggable lube, bro.
I have a camp toilet. Like, I might actually bring that. Maybe if she'll use that, but maybe not.
Hey man, when you're desperate, you're desperate, right?
Yeah, she wasn't quite desperate yet. But I used to have a case of water underneath the bunk of my old truck. Just in case. We had a bunch of like shelf stable food stored in the truck that just stayed there just in case. I bought that bicycle to have just in case. That's not on this new truck. And basically,
Jesus,
we have
you need to get
we
your
have
new
the
truck fucking set up, bro.
yeah, we have the clothes on our back and like a change of clothes, and we have a little tiny, like maybe a 18-inch by 18-inch mini fridge full of like cold food, and then we got some snacks and some drinks in another drawer, and that's it. Like,
All right. Your homework this week is to get that truck set up way better than that, sir.
Yeah, it needs to be done for sure. And we also have a safety bag. I'll leave it at that.
That's good.
We have some medical and some other safety items. So there's that. At this particular point, we were so close to another exit, and there was a gas station at the end of this exit. Like if push came to shove, we could have just walked to the gas station. Like I walked almost there just to look at the exit and see if it was big enough for us to drive on the shoulder of. So in that situation, we would have been okay. But had it happened in other areas, there are other areas out west where you're miles and miles and miles and miles away from anything. So if it were to happen out that way,
Right.
that it could turn into a situation. I gotta go grab my dog. He's driving himself nuts, trying to itch his ears.
You good?
I don't know if you guys can hear that or not.
Do my screen share. These are what we need Pat to print for us.
Do your screen share. All right. I'm sorry. Yeah, Pat, we need these. Oh, look, there's the whole sleeve. That thing looks kind of blocky up there. Kind of like that blue one there in the middle. That green one. Yeah, there you go. Pat, get to work.
Look on Thingiverse. THING, I think.
Please don't do that on screen share. I feel like that's
Thingiverse.
definitely a porn thing.
that is 100% not a porn thing. That is the easiest.
Randy Butternup's changed his icon. The safe word is pineapple. Nope, there's no safe word here, sir.
Got the
safe
extended
word-
battery that's USB-C.
The safe word is ow, 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 stop.
Not
That
to
just
my
makes me
unholy
go
though.
harder.
I would like to get some of those batteries. I haven't been able to find them. Like I saw a YouTube video on them, and I went
Which
to
ones?
look for them, and I couldn't find them. The Baofeng batteries that charge off a USB-C.
Yeah,
That's what I got.
it's my Father's
that's
Day
what-
gift last year.
Yeah, that's what I got from Jay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll have to see if I can buy them on his site.
They're like 2,800 milliamp or something.
Yeah, I bought the batteries and the extended batteries and the extended God damn it, antenna style deals. Which the one thing I don't like about that, and maybe it's just because I'm an idiot, but the little tip of those are glow in the dark. Should I just like hit that with a Sharpie or spray paint? You know what I'm talking about? The little whip. I don't know as if anybody.
Mine doesn't glow, but I didn't know that they did.
Yeah, they do.
Save it in case you need to go fishing.
Fair enough.
You just stick it in the water.
hey, you can spray paint it when you spray paint your totes black.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what
I do need
we'll
to do
do. We'll oh, I'm getting tired. I can't think of words.
Same.
We'll figure it out on the Discord, which one people think would work for their Baofangs, and instead of like taking the time to print one and send them to people, I'll send a big pile of them to Muffin Top, and then when he hits his 1,000 subs, he can include those in the giveaways.
Dang. That'd be dope. Look at you, Pat.
Yeah, because the little packages I sent out, it cost me more to send that stuff to you, the guys, than it did to actually make it.
I
Yeah,
want to buy
same.
it from you though. Like I want to help.
I mean, yeah. If you just want to cover the shipping, whatever that turns out to be, I'm perfectly fine with it, because I do that shit just for fun.
Right.
So if I'll figure out what it would cost to ship to people, and if you just want to cover shipping, I'll fucking print them for you. My son just bought a new printer today. I had to loan him the money to buy it, but and his credit's no
So
good
you
with
bought a
me.
new printer today.
I don't know why we keep loaning him money. Like, he's bad at paying us back.
Because it's your kid.
But anyway, right now in this house there are 6 functioning printers and one printer that needs rebuilt.
Jesus criminy.
Yeah, we keep getting upgrades and stuff. He just went and bought one today that's like mine. Mine was really nice. Mine has like an enclosure, but he doesn't have the kit with the enclosure, but it prints really, really well. So we can print pretty much any damn thing we want and pretty quickly. So I don't know
I
if you
demand
like
an actual working Autobot immediately.
in the Discord or something. We'll have to get a list going of who wants them. And
Yeah,
like
we
I
could
said,
do that.
if you just want to cover the shipping costs, I'll send them to people. Especially the small ones that I've seen, like they won't take shit to print. They'll be quick and cheap.
I want the armadillo shell. I want it to be like.
Yeah, why doesn't somebody make the GoPro cases that like click and clamp and make the things like 100% waterproof? Why doesn't somebody make one of those for a Baofeng that has like a little pass through just for the antenna and that's it? Because
Yeah,
these
come
things,
on, Otterbox, let's go.
The
I just
space
came up with $1 million idea. I think I'm going to do this.
We demand
Because
to be all brought in on royalties.
everyone has the Baofeng, and they're not watertight or even that robust. If you had a plastic case that went around it like those GoPros, it would protect it, keep it dry.
Seems like a good idea to me.
But then, once you factor in the cost of that, you could probably go buy a nicer radio. So maybe it wouldn't sell.
Hey, Mac.
What up, Mac? How you doing, buddy? What
Hopefully
are we
better
talking
than
about printing for the UV5Rs? There's like a protection for your push to talk, and so that way you don't move your channels, and it covers that little light, and it like clips on over the top. We were screen sharing it earlier there, Calhoun. I think you missed it. Yeah, somebody did. Who was that? Rip or somebody? I seen. Maybe that was Brent 003 or whatever the hell his name is. Somebody like took saran wrap around the radio and said, "This is how you watertight your radio on a budget." And I was like, you know what? I'm a redneck and I like that.
If it's dumb and it works, it's not dumb.
Yeah, if it works, man, you know what I mean?
if you're savvy
Calhoun
too,
does
you can pull these things apart and pot the electronics. You just basically pour resin or epoxy all over the electronics, and it waterproofs it and shock proofs it. If
What
you're
about
so
caulk?
inclined, and you know how to do that kind of thing. I saw some people getting those really cheap laser aiming modules, like the airsoft quality ones, potting the electronics and then putting them on actual firearms. And they seem to be holding up fairly well
Can I
for
do
as
it
much
with
as a
silicone
civilian
caulk?
needs to use it.
Say that again, Lawfully.
Can I do that with silicone caulk?
You can do everything with cock.
You
Can
could.
I spackle my radio?
Some things I would be worried about is like some of the resistors are going to build up heat, and I don't know if the silicone would transfer the heat like a solid would. I wouldn't want it to insulate the heat like the resin or the epoxy will disperse the heat. I don't know if the silicone would insulate it.
You just have me curious now. I like one-day projects.
Yeah, just look it up. Potting electronics, I think it's called.
So where you like breathe into it.
Sure.
I'm sure there's just where you're transmitting from is probably the only area that you need to be like kind of careful with, but
Sean says they used to goop circuits all the time to keep people from copying them. Isn't that Zarate
I have no idea.
from Honda's chat?
I'm not 100%, but I appreciate him hopping in. Oh, that's good.
Everybody
You know,
join the
waterproofing comms. Yeah, pick that bake off up. I'll hit it up.
Just the big Ziploc bag does a pretty good job, like Jay said.
Yeah.
Just use one of those heavy duty 6 mil bags that he gives everybody.
yeah, and you can still use it through that bag too.
Yep. Have y'all seen the videos of them digging up all of the German mass graves from WW2?
What? No.
And all the Germans have like rubbers in their wallets.
No.
Like it's
I have not.
bones, these guys' wallets, and then some rubbers.
Well, we know what they were going to do out on the front lines. Fuck them all to death. Calhoun's seen it. Those are some good. That's Trojan's claim to fame, huh? Their rubber's last mass burial. That's good for him.
And they all had really bad cavities and stuff, which is probably from the crank.
From not using the rubber.
Prevent the VD. He said, "Yeah, what's the Pervitin or whatever that they gave the Wehrmacht? You know the
Randy Butternut says, "Does it?" No, I don't. Lawfully, right offhand, but
oh, that was part of the Blitzkrieg stuff. Was they gave? I mean, all sides were doing it, but the Germans really gave a whole bunch of meth. That's why they were able to like cover so much ground. So they just basically didn't sleep for days at a time. Yeah, that's the one Muffin Top has a boner for. Is that blue one?
yeah, that.
I don't
I don't
necessarily
know
have
about
to
a
have
boner, but
NATO blue. I don't have to have it in NATO blue.
no, definitely don't need a NATO blue. Actually, it might
That's
blend
just-
in.
That's just the color that they make the model. Like they have no color to them except the plastic that you use. So I can make it whatever color I have. Muffin, he's getting a rainbow one.
Oh yeah, that is tactical.
You can print in rainbow.
Yeah,
Oh yeah. I have a
I
little
have,
dragon that's printed in rainbow. It's adorable.
I have color shifting. Like as you turn it, it changes colors. That's pretty cool. And solid colors.
Do they sell it as unicorn shit?
No.
Like just a swirl, like that ice cream commercial or whatever. Never mind.
You're being silly, Lawfully.
I know you've seen the commercial I'm talking about.
Probably.
It does kind of look like Walmart blue, old man butt wrinkles.
Yeah, I could get behind that.
Anyway, so what I was saying was all the German soldiers had really bad cavities, and I suspect that was probably from all the jaw jacking, from like tweaking.
It's just a little bit of tweaking. That's good for everybody's front line. When you're low on bullets, you just give them meth.
Well, I heard a story from a retired colonel that was there for the first invasion of Iraq, before you were born and when I was an infant. And he said that the Iraqis had a bunch of Chinese gas masks, and when they found them, they had like shitty filters, but they all had a bag of Coke in them. So I guess Saddam's plan was like, if anybody ever gassed him, like he'd just get all of his soldiers wound up on Coke, and they're going to die, but at least they feel really good for the last couple hours.
That's really nice of him.
Yeah.
Fucking priorities, huh?
All our soldiers were like, yeah. And he's like, come on, guys. Can't you at least wait till we're back behind, when we're back off the helicopter or whatever? Dude sticking their K-bars in the bags of Coke.
Hey, man, nothing wrong with that. K-bars are long, so you can get a really good, wait a minute.
That sugar-free Coke.
Right.
You?
Well, we've been going for a minute here, boys. What you got there, Pat?
Filament.
Oh, there you go.
Green,
Wow.
orange,
Gold.
green, orange.
So if you
I
get your
think
tip too hot, does it just come out kind of brown?
No, it doesn't mix like that. And here's just something that I thought was really cool. It's like a sparkly.
Sparkly. Oh, that's super cute, Pat. Is that for your wife, or is that just for you?
My son printed this.
Oh,
He's building a rifle with a chassis and all that stuff, and he's just doing dumb shit with it because we can.
It's really good fill. There's not like a lot of color or not a lot of fill lines that you can see. Like the layer lines look good.
I really want to show you guys something, but I can't. He's printed some block lowers,
Mm.
and
You can show us afterwards.
he used a carbon fiber something filament. Man, oh man, does it look like it looks good. Like you can't hardly tell. The only places you can tell is where the supports weren't perfect and the layer lines show up a little bit, but other than that, it almost looks factory.
So with that grip you were just holding, can you go back and like clean that up with acetone? Are you still like polish?
That's a different kind of plastic, ABS plastic you can smooth with acetone. This will just, it doesn't matter. Acetone won't affect it.
So how close to nylon 6 is that?
I have no idea what nylon 6 is.
What Magpul does their stuff in.
It's never going to be as strong as like a what do they call it? The extruded plastic piece. It's never going to be as strong in the same form factor anyway. Like, I don't know if this is thicker than the normal grip would need to be.
Yeah.
And it's designed that way on purpose because it's 3D printed.
Kind of forge versus billet.
I don't know. I don't think you could break this if you wanted to. I sent Twin Arrows a printed grip. He hasn't showed it on camera or anything. I don't know if he's using it. I'd be interested to see if he's able to break it.
Yeah, I had a guy who was making some mag extensions and stuff over here, way back when 3D printers were super early, and he ended up making a lower, and I will not shoot that gun because I've broken everything I've tested for the guy, handles and grips, and every single mag extension didn't. I think it either got too thin or his resin wasn't high enough quality, I guess, but they all just broke out and shit the fucking rounds everywhere. And I was like, it sucks when you're shooting and you're like, I got a bad back and I have to crawl around finding all these fucking rounds now. You know what I mean?
A friend of mine 3D printed a mag one time, and he was bragging about that it was good to go, and was squeezing on it and saying like, "Oh, you can't break it." And this other guy at the store was like, "You bet I can't break it." And he was like, "Yeah." And the dude just dropped it on the ground and stomped it. just one time, just waffle stomped it with his heel, and it cracked.
Wait a minute. You're doing what with your stomps there, Lawfully?
Waffle.
Would you like to give the rest of the class a definition of this? I know the definition because I use this term quite frequently when I'm playing video games, but for everybody else who has not had the leisure of saving toilet paper in the shower, would you like to tell everybody?
That's just one thing that you waffle stomp. Not everything is that.
That is what, yeah, that is where the term has been coined. You cannot, sir.
You're gonna
That
make
is
me
the
Google
only
it, aren't
thing
you?
to be waffle stomped. Okay, so waffle stomped is when you take a crap in the shower and you just shove it down the fucking drain with your foot to save you the use of toilet
Oh
paper.
God, that is what it means.
I know. How do you not know? You used the term you didn't even know. You're a bad man.
I just thought that was one of the things that you could waffle stomp. I didn't know that was like
That is the
definition.
waffle stomp, sir.
All
That's
right.
the waffle with the stomp.
Did you learn that term during plumbing apprenticeship or?
No, that came from a very drunken encounter with a wild muffin top and needing a shower to sober up, and time frame was not, wasn't the best.
The term is sometimes used as an alternative spelling of waffle stomp, which can also refer to hiking while wearing waffle soles or beating decisively.
Nope.
I'm going to go with that latter definition of beating decisively.
That's the same as hillbilly stomp. Now, hillbilly stomp means something a little bit different where I'm from, Robert.
I hate that that is now in my
Search history.
yeah. I was logged in.
I'm so happy that it's in your
Oh,
search
well.
history now. Oh, hey guys, there is a sale. I need to see if it's still going. My Patriot Supply has 60% off, and they have another sale coming. They sent me some stuff on. Let me Google it, because now if you wanted to get, I posted it in the Discord. What do you got? Oh, you got the whole case. Why is it in like nuclear yellow? Looks like a minion.
Well, if it's a safety thing, you want people to be able to find it.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, but if I spend a bunch of money on multicam and then I have it clipped to my chest, I don't want to look like Tweety Bird out in the woods.
Or do you?
I'm with you.
That's what
I could-
that's what they
I could
make
have
spray
one-
paint for.
Yeah. I could have one that's high vis and one that's not.
Well, I mean, if you got it hidden in a pocket.
Yeah, but under night vision, even in a pocket, any light or, well, yeah, I was thinking light. Never mind.
You can turn the lights off on the backlit and stuff.
Yeah, I don't know if people know that. Like, even if it's in a pocket, or even like some heavy
You glow like
Cordura.
Rudolph.
Yeah, even if it's under something, under night vision, you still see it.
Damn, where the hell is that?
Somebody check again. When's Honda going live?
Did you get anybody check out Jay Modern
Who just-
Frontiersman?
Who
on
just
if
shit
you want
open the
any
space
leather
lock?
crafting?
Yeah, I checked out his website. I got an idea that I want to shoot his way. I want to see if he'll make some leather gaiters, leg gaiters.
Ooh, that'd be sweet.
And then he says he put some sort of oil on it that makes it kind of waterproof. I feel like that would be a good.
Well, you just do what you do with cowboy boots. You use mink oil. That's how you keep them waterproof. You just keep reapplying mink oil. I do that on my boots. It works.
And that's why the minks are almost extinct.
Yes. Trapping minks is actually good money in Nebraska. Mink and beaver, they have a gland that waterproofs your stuff. That's why
Here
they
he
get
goes
little
with the
sheen in their
glands
fur.
again.
Hey, I'm just saying that's what it's for, man.
What other flavor? Gland, right?
Right. Why am I doing this? Why didn't I just click my YouTube and go through my link? Am I stupid?
Is that rhetorical?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Make sure you
Speaking
like,
of
share,
glands.
sub to Tactical Muffin Top. We are trying to hit 1,000. I'd like to hit it before Christmas time so I could give you guys stuff for being avid supporters of the program.
We're doing the Tactical Muffin Top 1K by Independence Day challenge.
That is definitely not going to happen. Tell us
It could.
about the beaver gland, Calvin said.
Not with that kind of attitude.
Thank you, Pat.
You know where the artificial vanilla flavor comes from, don't you?
Yeah, it's also from beavers. Yes.
Beaver anus.
Mm-hmm.
Tastes like grandmama's cooking all over again. So
Beaver booty cheeks.
they do have a big deal on here, which I have in talks with some other people on another solar generator. 2 solar generator companies. I need to get going on that. I need to finish that paperwork. Anyway, where is this sale?
Hey, you could just put your foot in a beaver.
No, it's not
and
the
then-
same,
then your
lawfully.
boots would already be waterproofed.
Okay. I don't know if you see this in my screen sharing right now. 60% off. Just saying. If you wanted to stock like meat would be where I'm at because that's the most expensive part, like meat, eggs, thing, whatever like that. You know what I mean? Would be where I would go with it. Or if you wanted to stock like stretching things like soups, stuff like that. Water purification tabs. They ran out of water purification tabs several times.
Yeah, those tabs right there in the middle are a good price right now.
Yeah, 10 muffins. Yeah, that's a great deal. Potassium iodide. That stuff wipes out all the time. There's ever a big like conflict. The freeze dried coffee is cheap. I was looking at getting some of that. I don't know about this battery bank, but that's on sale.
Right now is like $7.99.
Hell yeah. But I was looking at the meat, and I think I'm going to get a couple of these to try on the channel. This gumbo is calling me pretty hard. I like me some chicken gumbo. I probably need to get some more filters for my pitcher I've been using in the fridge, which, by the way, I don't know how long I've been using that thing. That's where I get all my water now is that pitcher. That's what my entire family drinks from. It works pretty good. I know Fiend Dog was wondering how well it worked, and I am a fan. Here, if you have no freeze-dried food, 25 muffins, you get 2 72-hour kits. Just saying. Buy one, get one. Maple oatmeal, potato soup, creamy chicken flavored rice, mac and cheese. At worst case, it's a side. At the very worst case, you take those 2 72-hour kits and a couple bags of rice or whatever, or even just those, and you throw them in a mag member, a family member, whoever's freaking say, hey, I need this top shelf of a closet or underneath this bed right here, and you leave something somewhere. Worst case scenario, you have a few bags of grub somewhere. You know what I mean? That's cheap.
Did you watch that video from Dirty Civilian that I dropped in your main Discord?
I don't know.
He did a 30-day challenge where he lived off of that sort of food.
I did not watch that. No. I'm sorry.
And he kept up all the numbers of like what water, like his family didn't participate. It was just him.
Right.
And so like he kept record of all the stuff that he ate, all the water that he used. And he kept his water separate, his cooking water, his drinking water, and his cleaning water.
Right.
At the end of the 30 days, he lost like 8 pounds. That he had
Zero bowel
back-
movements.
the backside mudslide for like the whole 30 days. The opposite. But it was a
Just
mix.
because he wasn't used to all like the
I think so.
yeah.
Well, that's
He
why
was
you got
eating like
a little bit
it
of
was a mix
rotation.
of it was a mix of Ready Hour, some MREs, and a little bit of like Mountain House and stuff.
You'd think the MREs would have backed him up.
That's what people warned him going into it, that he was going to like shit bricks, but it had the opposite effect. Fortunately, one of the Ready Hour kits that he had some like Imodium or something in it. And he said that took the edge off a couple days. That it was real bad.
Right.
Well, that's why we all stock up.
Chicken mac and cheese is only $8.
I don't know what we're looking at, Pat. It looks like a pair of 18650s, but
It's
It does
a
look like a pair of 18
battery. It's a battery door for the Baofeng that you can put 18650s in.
That's cool.
That is cool, actually.
I bet that runs a long time.
I don't know about you guys. I have the extended battery on probably my first Baofeng ever is still running. And like I leave that thing alone for like years and then come back to it and it's still fucking charged. I don't know what they make those batteries out of.
Nickel metal hydride.
Fairy
I've-
dust and unicorn farts.
I've left mine on with minimal chatter coming through, like during hurricanes and stuff like that. And they've lasted for like 2 days. Almost 2 days.
I can
When we had
even
that,
I can even make a soft case for the Baofeng. That's kind of cool.
you could 3D print a soft case.
Yeah.
Like it, is it one of those where
Ru-
you print it and then you pull it up off the mold and it like you break it up? It has like a weave.
No, it's a special kind of filament that's like rubbery.
Oh, so an
a-
actual. It's
Yeah,
squishy.
it's a pain in the ass to print with, but it can be done. That's kind of cool.
It can
Oh.
be done.
Honda's live.
Okay. Well, y'all just hit that up over there, and we're going to call it an evening over here at the Tactical Muffin Top channel, everybody. See ya. Wouldn't want to be ya. Deuces.
Later.
Y'all be nice.